People say cutting all carbs is the fastest way to lower blood sugar, but some people cut carbs and still feel tired and shaky. And some people cut carbs, see one good number, and still don't feel okay. And today's case, a lot of people have been convicting the wrong thing. We don't argue with feelings. We use simple science and clear logic. Every case gets 1 witness, 3 exhibits, 1 twist, and 1 verdict. This is education, not personal medical advice. Case file number 1. Carbs are the criminal. The claim on trial is, if I cut all carbs, my blood sugar will finally behave. Mrs. Carol Mitchell, 69, is sitting at her kitchen table with a glucose meter and a bowl of plain eggs. She used to eat toast, not fancy toast, just toast. But last week, her friend texted her a video with bold letters, "Cut carbs, fix blood sugar." Carol watched it before bed. Then she watched it again in the morning, and she felt that quiet kind of panic that doesn't look like panic. The kind that says, maybe I've been doing it wrong this whole time. So she cleaned out her pantry like it was a courtroom. Bread, rice, cereal, even oatmeal, gone. On day 3, her morning number looked better. Carol smiled like a verdict had been read. It sounds true, right? But we're only looking at the front of the picture. Exhibit A. Carbs are one kind of fuel. When you remove them, your body has to switch to other fuel. That switch can change numbers fast, especially in the morning. Exhibit B. When people cut carbs, they often cut soda, desserts, and late-night snacks at the same time. So the number improves, but the credit goes to one word, carbs. Exhibit C. Blood sugar is not a single moment. It's a moving story all day. A better morning number can happen while the rest of the day is still a puzzle. And here's the twist. The real issue isn't carbs. It's the overall pattern your body repeats day after day. Verdict. Partly true, but wrong in the way most people use it. Instead of advice, I'll leave you with one question. When you say carbs, are you thinking of soda and cookies? Or are you also putting beans and fruit on trial too? All right, let's bring in the next familiar myth. Case file number 2. Carbs are the same as sugar. The claim on trial is, carbs turn into sugar, so they're all basically poison for blood sugar. Mr. Leonard Lenbrooks, 72, is standing in the grocery store aisle, holding 2 boxes of food. One says low carb in big proud letters. The other is plain and boring, but it has fiber on the label. Len squints at the numbers like they're evidence. He hears his grandson's voice in his head. Carbs are just sugar, Grandpa. And he wants to do the right thing. Because diabetes can make a person feel like every bite is a test. Len doesn't want to fail the test. It sounds true, right? But we're only looking at the front of the picture. Exhibit A. Many carbs do break down into sugar. That part is true, but the speed of that change can be very different from one food to another. Exhibit B. The body doesn't react to carbs in a vacuum. Protein, fat, and fiber can slow the rise. The meal is the story, not one ingredient. Exhibit C. Research shows some low-carb foods can still push blood sugar up if they are highly processed, easy to overeat, or paired with the wrong pattern around them. And here's the twist. The real issue isn't carbs become sugar. It's how fast and how much hits your bloodstream at once. Verdict, not completely false, just missing the most important context. Instead of advice, I'll leave you with one question. When you look at a food, do you only see the word carb? Or do you also see how your body might meet it, minute by minute? Now open the next file. This one keeps people worried at night. Case file number 3. If you cut all carbs, you'll stop needing medicine. The claim on trial is, no carbs means no meds. That's the real cure. Mrs. Denise Walker, 67, is sitting in her living room with a pill organizer on the coffee table. She hates the sound of the lid snapping shut. It feels like a reminder she didn't ask for. Then a Facebook post shows up with a before and after photo. The caption says, I cut carbs. I threw my meds away. Denise feels a rush of hope. Not wild hope, quiet hope. The kind that says, maybe my story can turn around too. So she starts a strict plan. For a few days, she feels proud. Then one afternoon, she feels sweaty and shaky. She sits down fast, and her confidence starts to crack. It sounds true, right? But we're only looking at the front of the picture. Exhibit A. Lower carbs can lower blood sugar for many people. That can be real, but medicine and food interact. The body doesn't like sudden shifts without context. Exhibit B. Insulin resistance is not just a food story. It can be tied to the liver, muscles, sleep, stress, and time. Food is one piece, not the whole courtroom. Exhibit C. Research shows stories of fast turnarounds are often missing details. Timing, support, and medical follow-up matter, even if the story doesn't mention them. And here's the twist. The real issue isn't carbs versus meds. It's misunderstanding what your body needs while it changes. Verdict. Usually wrong, but there's a small detail that makes it sound right. Instead of advice, I'll leave you with one question. When you hear a miracle story online, do you know what parts of the story were left out? If you've believed that one for years, the next case may surprise you. Case file number 4, cutting all carbs fixes a 1C fast. The claim on trial is, if I cut carbs now, my A1C will drop quickly, and that proves I fixed the problem. Mr. Samuel Sam Ortiz, 74, is sitting in his car outside the clinic with a folded lab paper in his hand. He waited all week for this. His stomach felt tight every time he thought about it. Now he looks at the page like it's a verdict. He sees a change. Not perfect, but better. Sam exhales like he's been holding his breath for months. He texts his daughter, "It dropped. I did it." He feels proud, and he should, because trying is hard. It sounds true, right? But we're only looking at the front of the picture. Exhibit A. A 1C is a longer story. It reflects an average over time, not a single day. A change can be real progress, but it doesn't tell you every detail about what caused it. Exhibit B. A 1C can improve from many shifts at once. Less sugary drinks, smaller snacks, more regular meals, better sleep. Cutting carbs may be part of it, but it's rarely the only actor. Exhibit C. Research shows quick improvements can happen early, especially if the starting point was high. But early progress doesn't always mean the deeper pattern is solved. And here's the twist. The real issue isn't a lower A1C. It's what your body can keep doing when life gets normal again. Verdict. Not completely false, just missing the most important context. Instead of advice, I'll leave you with one question. If your plan only works in a perfect week, what happens to your blood sugar in a real week? All right, let's bring in the next familiar myth. Case file number 5. Zero carbs is the safest plan for everyone. The claim on trial is, the safest way to lower blood sugar is to remove carbs completely. No exceptions. Mrs. Elaine Foster, 70, is at her kitchen sink rinsing berries. She pauses with one strawberry in her fingers. She heard someone say fruit is basically candy. She puts it down like it's dangerous. Then she looks at the fruit bowl and feels something heavy. Not hunger, just sadness. Because food used to feel simple. Now it feels like a courtroom where everything is guilty. It sounds true, right? But we're only looking at the front of the picture. Exhibit A. Different bodies respond differently. What feels steady for one person may feel miserable for another. Exhibit B. Removing carbs can also remove foods people rely on for energy, fiber, and joy. If the plan creates stress and obsession, that stress becomes part of the health story too. Exhibit C. Research shows the best plans are often the ones people can live with. A plan that looks perfect on paper can fail in real life if it makes a person feel trapped. And here's the twist. The real issue isn't zero carbs, it's sustainability without fear. Verdict. Usually wrong, but there's a small detail that makes it sound right. Instead of advice, I'll leave you with one question. Does your plan make you feel steady? Or does it make you feel scared of normal food? Let's close today's court with the quick record. Carbs are the criminal, partly true, but wrong in the way most people use it. Carbs are the same as sugar. Not completely false, just missing the most important context. Cut all carbs and you'll stop needing medicine. Usually wrong, but there's a small detail that makes it sound right. Cutting all carbs fixes a 1C fast implies not completely false. Just missing the most important context. Zero carbs is the safest plan for everyone implies. Usually wrong, but there's a small detail that makes it sound right. If this felt like it was describing you, you're not alone. comment the next myth you want on trial, and subscribe for the next case file.